everyone, I'm Emma. Like, share, and subscribe now.
Hey, I'm Jackson. Let's continue today's topic.
Here is something most English teachers never tell you. Confidence in English is not a feeling. It is a behavior. You do not wait until you feel confident. You act confident first, and the feeling follows every single time. Today, day 3, we show you exactly how.
Welcome back to the 30-day Real English Fluency Challenge with Emma. Day 1 was the first 60 seconds. Day 2 was what to do when you lose a word. Today is the one that changes how people see you and how you see yourself in English.
By the end of today, you will know exactly what confident English sounds like, feels like, and looks like. You will have specific phrases, specific techniques, and a completely different relationship with the moments when you feel unsure. Let's go.
Before we start, write day 3 in the comments, plus one situation where you need to sound confident in English. A work meeting, a job interview, talking to a stranger. Write it. We read every single comment. And subscribe if you have not. Day 4 is tomorrow.
Let's start with the biggest myth about confidence in English. Most learners believe this, and it keeps them stuck for years. The myth is this: I will sound confident when my English is good enough, when my grammar is perfect, when my vocabulary is big enough, when I stop making mistakes, then I will feel confident. Then I will speak.
I believed that for a long time. I kept studying, waiting until I felt ready, waiting until my English was good enough to speak confidently.
And what happened?
I kept waiting. Years passed. My English got better, but the confidence never arrived on its own.
Because confidence does not come from knowledge. It comes from action. Research in psychology shows clearly you cannot think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. The brain responds to behavior, not to intention. When you act confident, your brain starts to believe it. When you wait to feel confident before you act, you wait forever. This is true in every language, every skill, every area of life.
So, the approach is completely backwards for most learners. They're waiting for the feeling, but the action creates the feeling.
Exactly. And today, we are going to give you the specific behaviors, the specific phrases and techniques that create the appearance and the feeling of confidence in English, even when you are nervous, even when you are unsure, even on your worst English day.
I want to know these techniques because I have meetings at work in English, and even when I know what I want to say, something about the language makes me hesitate, makes me go quieter than I want to be.
That hesitation is what we are going to fix today. And it starts with understanding what confident English actually sounds like, because it is probably not what you think. When most learners imagine confident English, they imagine fast English, no hesitations, perfect grammar, every word exactly right. But that is not what confident English actually sounds like. That is what perfect English sounds like. And perfect English does not exist, even among native speakers.
Really? Native speakers also make mistakes and hesitate?
All the time. Native speakers say and they start sentences and change direction. They repeat words. They speak with pauses. And none of that sounds unconfident, because confidence is not about perfection. Confidence is about how you carry your imperfections. A confident speaker makes a mistake and keeps going. An unconfident speaker makes a mistake and apologizes, stops, loses the thread, and never recovers.
So the difference between confident and unconfident English is not the mistakes. It is what happens after the mistakes.
Exactly. And 3 things create confident English: your pace, how fast or slow you speak, your pauses, where you stop and for how long, and your recovery, what you do when something goes wrong. Let's look at each one.
Pace. Confident speakers speak at a steady, moderate pace. Not fast. Fast speech actually sounds nervous, not confident. Not slow. Too slow sounds uncertain. Steady. Controlled. Like you have time. You are not rushing because you are nervous. You own the conversation. When you feel nervous in English, your instinct is to speak faster, to get it over with. Fight that instinct. Slow down by 10%. It immediately sounds more confident.
I do that. When I am nervous, I speak faster and quieter. And then I can tell the other person is struggling to follow me, which makes me more nervous. And I speak even faster.
It is a cycle, and slowing down breaks the cycle. Pauses. Confident speakers are comfortable with silence. They pause before answering. They pause mid-sentence to think. And those pauses sound like thinking, not like struggling. When you pause in English, do not fill it with sorry or endlessly. Just pause. Let the silence be there for 1 or 2 seconds. It reads as thoughtful, not as lost.
I always feel like I need to fill every silence immediately. Silence means I failed.
Silence means you are thinking, and thinking looks like intelligence. And recovery. This is the most important one. When something goes wrong, you say the wrong word, you lose a sentence, you forget something, what do? An unconfident speaker says, "I am sorry, my English is not very good." A confident speaker says, "Actually, let me rephrase that." Or simply continues. The recovery phrase is everything. And today, we are going to give you the best recovery phrases in English. These 12 phrases are the foundation of confident English. They cover 3 situations: buying time, recovering from mistakes, and asserting your point clearly. Learn them. Practice them. Use them every single day. Ready? Repeat every phrase out loud. Buying time phrases. When you need a moment to think without looking lost. Phrase 1. That is a really good question. Use this when someone asks you something that needs thought. It buys you 3 to 5 seconds, it compliments the other person, and it sounds completely natural. That's a really good question.
That's a really good question.
Together, that is a really good question. In fast speech, that's a great question, or good question. Same effect. Use it, it works every time. Buying time phrases. When you need a moment to think without looking lost. Phrase 2. Let me think about that for a moment. Direct, honest, confident. You are not apologizing for needing time. You are simply taking it. Let me think about that for a moment.
Let me think about that for a moment.
Together, let me think about that for a moment. Or shorter, give me a second to think. Both sound confident. Neither sounds uncertain. Phrase 3. What I mean is, use this when you want to clarify what you just said, or when you feel your first attempt was not quite right. It gives you a second chance without apologizing for the first attempt.
What I mean is.
Together. What I mean is. This phrase says, I have a clear idea. I am just choosing better words. That is confident, not confused. Phrase 4. To put it simply. Use this when you want to explain something in a clear, direct way. It signals that what follows will be easy to understand. It positions you as someone who communicates clearly. Repeat after me. Together. To put it simply. To put it simply, I think we need a different approach. Clean, confident, direct. Recovery phrases. When something goes wrong mid-sentence. Phrase 5. Actually, let me rephrase that. This is your most powerful recovery phrase. When you say something wrong, unclear, or incomplete, stop, say this, and start again. It sounds like editing, not failing. Repeat after me. Actually, Let me rephrase that.
Actually, let me rephrase that.
Together. Actually, let me rephrase that. This phrase is used by executives, politicians, and public speakers in English. When you use it, you sound like someone in control of their message.
That one phrase completely changes what a mistake looks like. Instead of a mistake, it looks like you are being precise.
Phrase 7. What I am trying to say is, use this when the right words are not coming out cleanly. It acknowledges the struggle, but frames it as precision, not failure. Repeat after me.
What I'm trying to say is.
Together. What I am trying to say is. The key word is trying. It shows effort and direction, not confusion. Phrase 7. Does that make sense? Use this at the end of an explanation to check understanding. It invites the other person in. It shows you care about communication, not just about what you are saying. Repeat after me.
Does that make sense?
Together. Does that make sense? Or, am I being clear? Same idea.
Asserting
It
your
turns
point.
potential confusion
When you want to
into
sound
collaboration.
clear and direct. Phrase 8.
I think the main point here is, use this when you want to cut through confusion and state your position clearly. Repeat after me. I think the main point here is.
I think the main point here is.
Together. In a meeting, in a discussion, in a presentation, this phrase makes you sound like the clearest thinker in the room. Phrase 9. From my experience, this phrase is powerful because it roots your opinion in something personal and real. It is hard to argue with someone's experience. From my experience, this approach works better. Repeat after me. From my experience.
From my experience.
Together. From my experience. You can also say, in my view, or the way I see it. All three are confident, assertive, and completely natural in professional and social English. Phrase 10. I completely understand your point. However, use this when you want to disagree politely but firmly. The first part shows respect. The however signals that you are about to say something different. Repeat after me. I completely understand your point. However.
I completely understand your point. However.
Together. I completely understand your point. However, this is the phrase that turns a potential conflict into a confident professional exchange. European learners especially struggle with disagreeing in English without sounding rude. This phrase solves that. Phrase 11. I would like to add something here. Use this when you want to enter a conversation that is already happening. In a group discussion, in a meeting, when two people are talking. It signals you have something to contribute without interrupting rudely. Repeat after me. I'd like to add something here.
I'd like to add something here.
Together. I'd like to add something here. Or simply, can I add something? Same function, slightly more casual. Phrase 12. The way I see it. This is how you open a confident opinion statement. Not, I think maybe, which sounds uncertain. Not, I suppose, which sounds hesitant. The way I see it, which sounds like you have considered the matter and arrived at a clear view. Repeat after me. The way I see it.
The way I see it.
Together. The way I see it. Practice finishing this sentence with something real. The way I see it. Speaking every day is more important than studying every day. What is your version? Write it in the comments. Now, let's see these phrases in a real situation. A work meeting. Two colleagues discussing a project. Watch how confidence works, even when one person is not entirely sure.
I will be the colleague. You start.
So, what do you think about the timeline for the new project?
That's a really good question. Let me think about that for a moment. From my experience, 3 weeks is quite tight for this kind of work. The way I see it, we need at least 4 weeks to do it properly.
I understand what you mean, but the client is expecting delivery in 3 weeks.
I completely understand your point. However, if we rush this, the quality will suffer. What I am trying to say is, a 1-week delay now prevents a much bigger problem later. Does that make sense?
Now, let's see these phrases in a real situation. A work meeting. 2 colleagues discussing a project. Watch how confidence works, even when one person is not entirely sure.
I will be the colleague. You start.
So, what do you think about the timeline for the new project?
That's a really good question.
Let me think about that for a moment. From my experience, 3 weeks is quite tight for this kind of work. The way I see it, we need at least 4 weeks to do it properly.
I understand what you mean, but the client is expecting delivery in 3 weeks.
I completely understand your point. However, if we rush this, the quality will suffer. What I am trying to say is, a 1-week delay now prevents a much bigger problem later.
That makes sense. I would like to add something here. Maybe we can propose a phased delivery? First part in 3 weeks, full delivery in 4.
Actually, let me rephrase that. I think the main point here is we agree on the goal. We just need to find the right way to present the timeline to the client.
8 of our 12 phrases in one 2-minute professional conversation. All natural, all fitting perfectly. Did you notice that Smith used these phrases even when he was disagreeing, even when he was not fully certain, and he sounded completely confident throughout?
Honestly, I felt confident saying those phrases, even though it was just practice. The phrases gave me a structure to hold on to.
That is exactly how it works. The phrases create the confidence. The confidence does not create the phrases. Write in the comments, which of these 12 phrases are you going to use first? Tomorrow, in real life, which one? 3 mistakes. These are the confidence killers. Stop doing these and your English confidence will change overnight.
I think I make all 3 of them.
Mistake 1. Over-apologizing. I am sorry, my English is not very good. Sorry if that did not make sense. Sorry for my accent. Every apology tells the other person, I am not confident. An apology before you speak lowers the value of everything that follows. The fix? Remove the apology. Say what you want to say. If something needs clarifying, use your phrases. Actually, let me rephrase that. What I mean is, no apology needed.
I apologize constantly. Even when my English is perfectly clear, I apologize out of habit.
It is a very common habit, especially in European cultures where politeness is important. But in English, over-apologizing actually sounds less professional, not more polite. Confident is more respected than apologetic in most English-speaking professional environments. Mistake 2. Rising intonation on statements. This is when your voice goes up at the end of a sentence, like a question, even when you are making a statement. I think we should go with option A, voice goes up. It sounds like you are asking permission. Lower your voice at the end of statements. It signals certainty. I think we should go with option A, down, firm, confident. Practice this now. I think this is the right approach.
Repeat after me. I think this is the right approach.
Voice down at the end, every time. Mistake 3. Too many hedging words. Maybe, perhaps, possibly, I suppose, sort of, kind of. 1 hedge is natural. 3 hedges in 1 sentence makes you sound like you believe nothing you are saying. Wrong. I suppose maybe we could possibly try a different approach. Correct. I think a different approach would work better. 1 qualifier. Clear. Confident.
I stack hedges constantly. I say perhaps, all in the same sentence.
Now you know. 1 hedge maximum. Your idea is good. Believe it. Say it. Move on. Rapid fire. Situation, You say the right phrase. Out loud, no thinking. Just respond. Someone asks you a complex question. You need 3 seconds. Repeat after me. That's a really good question. Let me think about that for a moment.
That's a really good question.
Let me think about that for a moment.
You said something unclear. You want to try again. Repeat after me. Actually, let me rephrase that.
Actually, let me rephrase that.
You want to give your opinion clearly. Repeat after me. The way I see it.
The way I see it, we need a different approach.
You want to disagree, but stay professional. Repeat after me. I completely understand your point. However,
I completely understand your point. However, I think we need more time.
you want to join a conversation already happening. Repeat after me. I'd like to add something here.
I'd like to add something here.
5 situations, 5 automatic responses. No silence, no apology, no hedging. That is confident English. And you just did it. Day 3 complete. Here is what you now know that most English learners never figure out. Confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It is a behavior you choose. You choose it with your pace, steady, not rushed, with your pauses, comfortable, not panicked, with your recovery phrases, clean, not apologetic, and with your assertion phrases, clear, direct, and believed.
The 12 phrases from today cover every difficult moment in an English conversation. Buying time, recovering from mistakes, asserting your point. You have all 3 covered now.
Your homework tonight? Take 2 of today's 12 phrases. Just 2. Say each one 10 times out loud. Right now, before you sleep, in the morning, whenever. 10 times each, out loud. And tomorrow, use one of them in a real conversation, in English, with a real person. Even if it is just one phrase, one real use. That is the Day 3 challenge.
Write Day 3 done in the comments if you practiced today. And write which phrase you are going to use tomorrow. Making that commitment in public makes it 3 times more likely you actually do it. We have seen it in this community every day.
Day 4 is tomorrow. English at work. The phrases that make you sound professional in any work situation. Meetings, calls, emails, all covered. Subscribe and turn on notifications. See you tomorrow.
This is Simple English Talks with Emma. Day 3 complete. See you tomorrow.